Welcome to Agenda Edina, a program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. Holly Ziemer and Stephen Suko have been recognized for preserving their mid-century modern home at 5900 Olinger Boulevard. Ziemer and Suko were presented the 2021 Heritage Award. The Heritage Preservation Commission selects a recipient each year who has strengthened the historic fabric of the community through protection, improvement, or use of place within Edina that represents a piece of the community's heritage.
It's a really great example of the mid-century modern architecture, and that era is an important resource in Edina. There's a lot of it. And this house really shows what owner after owner putting a lot of care into it, and particularly this one, it was inside and out.
The home was built in 1966 by the Lundgren Company. The architecture and details of the home follow classic California modern designs. Previous owners restored interior elements of the home, including post and beam construction, board ceilings, and slab flooring. In 2019, Ziemer and Suko restored and refined the home's courtyard, a distinguishing feature of mid-century modern homes that connects the interior with the outdoors. The plantings, while primarily native to Minnesota, emphasize a Japanese-inspired design, with dense plantings and a variety of shapes, textures, and colors over all seasons. Bluestone paving complements the natural setting.
We had done this because we really just wanted to invest in our home. We love this house, but to have the community actually recognize it and give us recognition is like, it's like you're doing something that you wanted to do and then you get recognition for it. What's bad about that? Like it's what I call it, like a virtuous circle. It's like we were doing something we would have otherwise done, and then the city recognizes this and it makes us feel like we should keep doing things like this.
Nominations for the 2022 Heritage Award will be collected next spring. Edina City Manager Scott Neal is asking community members for their input on how federal funding should be spent. The City of Edina expects to receive $4.9 million as part of the Federal American Rescue Plan. Half of the money is expected soon. The other half will be distributed in 2022. The money is meant to provide relief from the COVID-19 pandemic to cities across the nation and boost the economy. In 2020, federal relief was used in Edina to provide emergency rental assistance and small business loans, purchase personal protective equipment for employees, and outfit employees to work from home, among other things. Neil wants to hear ideas on how the latest funding should be used in Edina.
We can use it for restoring lost public revenues from last year, for broadband, for water and sewer infrastructure, for employee pay, premium pay for employees that were involved in the pandemic last year. We have been engaged in a public engagement process for the past week or two for people who are interested in contributing ideas to how we should spend this money in the community. They can do that through our website, bettertogetheredina.org. There's a project page there, and it's easy to leave a comment about how you think we can use this money the best way possible.
One meeting was held last month to gather input and ideas. The second meeting will be held online, 7 p.m., Wednesday, June 2nd. Comments are also being collected online. Register for the June 2nd listening session or share your ideas online at bettertogetheredina.org/ARPA. Neil will present his recommendations for how to use the funding to the City Council at its Tuesday, June 15th meeting. The battle to combat the coronavirus and save lives is a global challenge. Steering the effort in Edina, Richfield, and Bloomington is a man who was thrust into a vacant position last fall. Now, after 7 months serving in an interim position, Nick Kelly has been named Bloomington Public Health Administrator. Edina TV tells us more about his role in improving public health.
In January, interim Bloomington Public Health Administrator Nick Kelly worked with a limited supply of the Moderna vaccine.
I have you in the system.
To protect first responders from a deadly virus.
We've been vaccinating somewhat nonstop since then.
Kelly graduated from the University of Minnesota with a doctorate in environmental health with an emphasis on infectious diseases.
So I worked at the Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy and did a lot of work on pandemic planning, pandemic influenza.
The coronavirus is highly contagious and capable of spreading by those without symptoms. In early 2020, Kelly knew the response to the pandemic would require everything he knew about infectious diseases.
We were learning in real time while we were seeing horrific humanitarian issues around the world.
Learning and strategizing an effort to show how individual decisions like wearing a mask and staying socially distant can slow the spread of COVID-19.
The challenge with an infectious disease like COVID is your actions impact your neighbors and their neighbors and your community.
And so, when he became interim Bloomington Public Health Administrator in October,
Coordinate that with Hennepin County for what they're doing at Hopkins.
he knew that with the right tools and communication,
We're trying to really reach in Edina right now.
the Public Health Division could make an impact.
So most recently, Nick and I have worked together on vaccine communications, and one of our priorities has been ensuring that underserved populations get access to the vaccine and that they have accurate and timely information.
That meant building on a 44-year-old partnership with the cities of Edina and Richfield.
We have good lines of communications historically before COVID. And with COVID, those just really expanded and were more real time.
Postcards were sent to homes and zip codes with lower vaccination rates that promoted a vaccination clinic at the state fairgrounds.
I think Nick's great. We communicate really well. You know, he's done a really good job of keeping both Richfield and Edina in mind, not just thinking about Bloomington.
Now that collaboration will continue, with Kelly no longer filling an interim position.
I'm looking forward to continuing building those partnerships and growing them in the future. We've relied heavily on each other to get through this pandemic.
And with more and more residents walking out the door vaccinated, he is looking forward to seeing what a post-pandemic future looks like.
Thank you. It makes me excited to think about where we can go with protecting and helping our community stay healthy.
I'm Dan Carpenter for Edina TV.
Kelly says as the pandemic response transitions, more resources are going back to activities that promote the long-term health of the community. To learn more about services offered by Bloomington Public Health, call 952-563-8900. The city of Edina continues to closely monitor the spread of the novel coronavirus. We are helping to keep those who live and work here up to date about the impact and recovery from COVID-19. Please visit edinamn.gov/coronavirus for the latest updates or sign up to receive City Extra emails or text messages. Thank you for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.